I'm driving down the highway and I heard a bunch of noise again coming from under the van and some grinding, and this thing lurched to a stop. I'm always trying to stay positive, but I'm feeling pretty low right now. I've had to deal with a lot over the last 3 days, just trying to drive from Texas to Arizona. This is my third separate breakdown. What are you gonna do? Sit in Love's and cry? I'm not gonna cry in a Love's parking lot. That ain't gonna happen. Good morning from a rest stop just over the border. It looks like I'm not the only one with vehicle troubles. This guy's out here, looks like he's changing something on his front wheel, maybe his brakes or something, but he's doing a little work at a rest area. Good for him, getting it done. Sometimes if you want something done right, you just gotta do it yourself. All right, friends, Nomad Brad here with another update. So I'm driving down the highway and I heard a bunch of noise again coming from under the van and some grinding, and this thing lurched to a stop. So another problem, and I'm pretty sure it's serious. I think maybe that transmission parking brake might have went out again. I think that might be what just happened. So now I gotta crawl out and take a look, see what's going on. Here we go. On the side, again, on the side of the highway. So I noticed there's some fluid dripping out of that e-brake piece. The way this thing just shuddered to a stop, I feel like that part blew up. I don't know. So I'm gonna put it back in drive and just see what it does, but I don't think it's gonna be too good. Let me go to neutral. So it's rolling. It's rolling in neutral. Now what happens if I go to drive? It's rolling slowly. Ooh, it doesn't like that. Now the whole van's shaking. All right, guys, so I pulled over after the big kaboom and I limped my van. I was right at an exit, fortunately. So I limped my van to a Love's travel stop, and that's where I'm sitting right now, in the parking lot of Love's. I crawled underneath. I saw that transmission e-brake is leaking some fluid, and it's super hot. Like if you touch it, it just almost burns you. So I think that transmission brake piece failed again. And anyway, I'm always trying to stay positive, but I'm feeling pretty low right now. I've had to deal with a lot over the last 3 days, just trying to drive from Texas to Arizona. This is my third separate breakdown. And man, it's just really tough. It's really stressing me out. And the hard part is, you know, when you're driving so far between towns, you know, there's not a lot of service in between. And you know? So now I'm at a point where I just don't know what to do. I'm, you know, 8 hours from the mechanic in Texas that fixed my e-brake assembly. So I can't just drive it back to him and get like a warranty on the stuff. And I'm 8 hours from my dad in Arizona. So I'm really not sure what to do. I'm just sitting here contemplating my life decisions. And I'm really shocked at how much difficulty I've been facing. And I'm wondering if that's some kind of a message from the universe. Like, was I not supposed to go to Arizona? Or what is it? What does this all mean? I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, but I gotta figure out what to do. Thankfully I'm into Loves. But so I guess I'm gonna try to call the mechanic in Texas that did the repair work and just see if he has anything to say about anything. I'm not really sure. Alright, so I got off the phone with the mechanic, and I mean, they can't really help me that much. They said they could process the part under warranty, but that doesn't help me on the side of the road in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Friends, welcome back to the Nomad Brad Diaries. This is no longer a van life channel. This is a channel about a man in his late 30s that has made some terrible decisions in his life. Oh, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I'm back. I feel a little better about it. Initially, I was just like, the wave of helplessness just flooded over me, and I was pretty upset and bummed out. But what are you gonna do? Sit in Loves and cry? I'm not gonna cry in a Loves parking lot. That ain't gonna happen. So here's the plan. What I'm gonna do is, because what happened is after it like broke down and lurched to a stop, I was able to limp it to Loves, and it seemed to drive okay. So what I'm going to do is fill the transmission brake reservoir with fluid, because I believe the fluid has leaked out and that's what caused it to overheat and lock up. So I'm hoping that it's not like permanently exploded, and if I add fluid, then I'll be able to drive it. And what I'm gonna try to do, I'm 7 hours from my dad's house, so I'm going to try to limp it there. And so I'm gonna pull over, because right now I'm in the main Loves parking lot. I'm gonna pull over to this gravel kind of side area and try to do the repair there and add the fluid, drive it a little bit up and down this road and see how it does. And if it seems to be okay, I'm just gonna head west. The next town is actually, I zoomed out on Google Maps, the next town is 50 minutes away. So that's what I'm gonna do, because other than that, the only thing I can do is replace the whole unit, and that's my worst case scenario. So we're gonna do that right now. Okay, we're gonna try it out here, see how it does. We're slow and go right now. See what happens. See what happens. I'm grateful that it is driving right now. Like, it's moving, there's no noise. So I feel like that's a good sign. So we'll see what happens when I fill it with fluid. So I'm gonna try to go park on this side road behind this motorhome and see if I can make this change out or add this oil. It's a little bit gravelly, but I got a blanket I can lay down, so that's not a big deal. Actually, we'll pull right in front of it here. Man, I gotta tell you, when I felt that thing come to a screech, screeching stop, I thought my transmission was done for. But I mean, the fact that it's even still driving just goes to show that these rigs are pretty tough. I mean, that's a lot of heat, a lot of weight, a lot of, grinding and stuff. So, I mean, this is a pretty tough rig. I'm pretty impressed that it's still holding together. So, all right, let's go add some fluid to it, see what happens. All right, so I know you guys can't really see everything that's going on. I can't really film I can't really film the location where I'm working at, but I appreciate you being here with me in spirit. It's nice to not be alone when you're going through troubles like this. This is the transmission emergency brake, and so up on the side at about the 10 o'clock position, there is a fill plug where you add the transmission fluid. And so basically I have to find the right size socket that will fit that plug. And then I'll go ahead and pull the plug out and add fluid. I have a pump that I'll show you guys in a minute that I'll be using. Because of the location of the filler spot, you cannot use you can't just pour the bottle in. It's up too high, so you have to use a hand pump to get the fluid up in there. So that's what I'll be doing today. Man, that's a lot bigger bolt than I thought it would be. There we go, I got it. What is it? It's a 17 millimeter. That's a pretty big one. So that's what we're gonna use. Throw it on the wrench here with a little extension. Put it in loose mode and go ahead and try to get this sucker out of here. Right now, my main goal is just get to Yuma. Yuma is like a safe place because my dad lives there, and so if I can just get to Yuma, then I can take care of everything else. All right, so we got the plug out. Here it is right here. It looks similar to an oil pan plug. I'm gonna put it up here so it doesn't fall down and get dirty. Here's the fluid I'm using. This ATF fluid from Valvoline. It's Merc 5. It's the same fluid that you use in the transmission. And here's the transfer pump. It's a bit messy because I used it on the last unit, so it's got old fluid on it, but that's basically what it looks like. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Now the way it works is your supply side has to be taller than the receiving side. So here's what it looks like. And I saw a little bit of fluid come dripping out. So I don't know if it's full or not. I might stick my finger in there and try to feel it. There's fluid coming out of here now. And the fluid in there is super black. It's supposed to be red. So that just shows me it got super overheated and it burnt up whatever was inside of there. Okay, so I got the fluid in. I just put in fluid until it started leaking out. I have no way otherwise of measuring it or having any idea what's in there. So we just added fluid till it started leaking, and now I'm putting the fill cap back on, and we're gonna ratchet it down and then take it for a little test drive here in the area, see how she does. Okay, here we go. We're gonna try it out. We're gonna try cruising over this bridge here. It looks like there's about a quarter mile or so of road. That I can drive down just to test this thing. Fingers crossed. "40 miles an hour. So far, no issues. I mean, it's riding pretty smooth. Doesn't sound terrible. Okay, we're gonna go for it. I'm gonna head west. So far I haven't heard anything crazy. Fingers crossed. We'll see what happens when I hit 55. you know, staying at Love's wouldn't have helped me out anyway. I mean, I have food in here and a bathroom, and I have everything I need, so it's not like staying at Love's would have been any kind of a lifesaver. So here we go, merging onto the freeway. 40 miles an hour. Wish I had cruise control. I want to keep this thing at 55. On the brighter side, we got a really pretty sunset over there. I realize you can't see it on the camera here, but you can see the mountains. Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in. Clouds on the top, clouds on the bottom, mountains in between. Little golden sunset view. It's absolutely beautiful. Still love the open road. I still love the open road. Ah! Look at that shot, guys. Beautiful sunset at the end of a stressful day. Gorgeous. I just love Mother Nature. I love the open road. I do really like the desert Southwest. Honestly, after being in Texas for basically a year and a half, I missed Arizona. And so I think I'm gonna spend a little more time here this time around and really just enjoy the place. Look how beautiful this sunset is. I can't get over it. It's like perfectly poking between the roof of that gas station. So beautiful. There, I can block it with my head. Look at my halo. This is it, Deming, Nevada. No, not Nevada. Deming, New Mexico. I think I said Nevada earlier too. Deming, New Mexico. I just pulled over. I'm outside of this Chevron, and man, what a day. I'm exhausted. Let's go make some dinner. I got steaks. So we're doing some steaks tonight. I'm very excited. When I went to Sprouts last night, they had this it was like a 6-pack of these thin little steak fillets. And I had a couple last night. They were tasty, so we're gonna do that again tonight. Some steak. And I also have some red potato salad with dill as my little side dish that I'll be having with my steak. We're gonna add some salt and pepper. Definitely pepper. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna season both sides of the steak. So as soon as this side gets seasoned, I'm gonna flip it, and then I'll season the back side as well. And then what do I have? And then I have some herbs. I have all these different spice blends. All these different spice blends that I got. So tonight it's gonna be herbs de Provence is the name of it. It smells pretty good. I think it might even have dill in the seasoning, which would be a good match for the dill in my potato salad. All right, so there you can see the steak. I already seasoned the backside and flipped it. Now I'm gonna add some salt to this side and some pepper. The nice thing about these thin cuts of steak is they don't take that long to cook, and they cook really evenly. So definitely, I'm really excited I found these cuts. I've never seen cuts like this at, you know, like HEB. Well, full disclaimer, for the last year and a half, I've been in Texas, and the only grocery store they have in Texas is called HEB. It's like a monopoly. And so that's your only choice, really. And they didn't have cuts like this. It's nice to see these thinner cuts all evenly packaged. Super friendly for van life. So those are all seasoned up. I got 3 more ready to go, maybe for breakfast tomorrow. So the goat milk's been working out pretty well. The diet, there's 2 purposes for it. The first is that it's supposed to help heal your gut. And then the second is that it's supposed to help you kind of put on weight. I'm kind of a thin guy. I've always been thin, but it's supposed to help you put on weight just because of how many calories is in goat's milk. So it's been pretty good. Now, when I started out the goat milk diet, I was using just regular cow milk from the grocery store, and that did not agree with me. It hurt my stomach, and TMI, it actually gave me constipation. And so I did some more research and found out that regular cow milk is called A2. Wait, it's called A1. And it's something about the like genetics of the cow, but it's hard to digest. But goat milk is A2, which is easy to digest, and it's supposed to be a lot better for you. And since switching to goat milk, it's been way smoother. I haven't had any constipation issues, and my stomach's been feeling pretty well. So I think goat milk was the key. So I'm gonna stick with it. And the other thing I'm gonna try, one of you guys recommended trying kefir, a goat milk kefir, and I think she said she gets it at Trader Joe's. So I'm definitely gonna try some goat milk kefir. That's just kind of a different. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's a different version of goat milk, and I think it's slightly fermented. So we'll give that a try too once I get down to Arizona. So I gotta say, this week's been crazy. I've had 3 separate breakdowns in 3 days, and I've driven less than 1,000 miles, which is quite curious to me. Like, I've been van life in 5 years. I've never had this happen. And even this truck, I drove this all over Texas, and I never had any issues really. So there's something a little suspicious going on. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's some greater issue going on that's causing all these troubles for me. But anyway, what I wanted to mention, is that there's the old saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I know it's kind of cliche and like, oh, whatever, but there's a lot of truth to that. And especially for me, after having these 3 breakdowns in 3 days, I feel like each time I feel a little more resilient and a little tougher, like, okay, I've been here before. It's all going to work out. We'll figure it out. So even though it's really uncomfortable in the moment, I feel like it's making me tougher and stronger, and maybe it's preparing me for tough times ahead. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen or what might be coming down the pipe, and so I don't know. But I feel like I'm definitely becoming stronger for it, and less easily influenced by unexpected situations like this. So I think it's a good thing. And I was thinking, on the drive over here, about like all the heroes you hear talk and tell stories, like war heroes. I watch a lot of like military documentaries and stuff, and those guys are so tough. There's guys that are injured, and they crawl 7 miles to get rescued. And when you think about all the crazy tough scenarios those people go through and they survive, and that's the stuff that shaped them into who they are today, and into heroes and strong, capable men. And I'm not claiming to be anywhere near their caliber, but what I am saying is this is kind of just a little slice in my own life of a similar situation where you have to adapt and overcome and come out the other side. So it's just part of that growth phase, and I'm just taking it one step at a time. So here we are, some seasoned dill steak and also dill red potato salad from Sprouts Farmers Market. It looks absolutely delicious, and I cannot wait to try it out. See how old Nomad Brad did here. On the steak. I don't know if you can see that. Not really. Maybe there. Maybe that's in focus. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. It's really good. It's tender, and I can really taste the dill, and then whatever other spices were in that blend. It's got a super kind of earthy flavor to it, but in a good way. And yeah, just really, really tasty. I like it. So good. And a little bit of potato salad, a little bit of dill potato salad. That hits the spot. After a long day, after a long day, there's nothing like a home cooked meal.